Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. I woke up this morning, so it's already off to a good start of the day. So we're going to get back to work on the rabbit coop, get these cages worked up, mopped up, framed up, put together, and hopefully finish it out today. It's a beautiful day outside, not too much in the wind. Hopefully be able to talk to you guys a bit while we're out there. But I'm going to do the bunny swap. I'll do that off camera this time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back one video and you'll see the bunny swap in action and see our bunnies. And that's about it. Gonna get out, get to work, enjoy this beautiful day, get that vitamin D flowing. Got shorts on today, so full exposure, and we're ready to work. So let's head up to the rabbit coop and get things done. Alright everybody, welcome back to the rabbit coop. The bunny swap has been completed. All the bunnies are down in the garage right now. And they are waiting anxiously, I'm sure, for me to finally get this project done. But you know what? It's been an ongoing project. It's always going to be evolving. I don't think I'm anywhere close to finished with this, obviously. But step by step, just improvements, evolutions of it, and iterations of it. All right, just to throw a few fancy words at you. But here we are. I need to complete some more framing on the cage layout. Right, I got the rear supports done, but I'm still going to need some more coming towards the front on the bottom here. I'll show you on this one because you can see it in frame. Right, so I'm going to need a board down here coming across. I'm going to need supports going up and probably a little T section coming down here so that I can attach all the dividers and get this properly divided. Because one thing I've decided is that I don't want to have mesh dividing males and females, just for the odd chance that they would be able to breed through the mesh. All right, and it's not that I've come across this information myself, it's that one of the previous owners of one of the does warned us when we got her that she could be pregnant. And she said even though they were divided, she had witnessed the buck attempting to get at the doe through the mesh. So as well, if I got, you know, males on one side and females in the middle, if you're only separating them by mesh, that could make them probably a bit more hostile or agitated at the very least. And I just want the bunnies to be comfortable and relax, so I want a solid divider between my cages so that they're not seeing each other and interacting in that kind of way where they might irritate each other. So that's my goal. It's going to take a lot more wood, a lot of cuts here now to frame this out. So, you know, it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time, right? So it's just well to get started, trim out little bits of mesh where needed. As well, one little note that I forgot to say about the mesh. This wasn't hardware cloth, per se, or hardware mesh. This was called fencer wire. Alright, so in case you're looking to buy this mesh, if it turns out good, I think it'll turn out good. But in case you're looking to duplicate which mesh I bought, it was on the Home Depot website. It was 1 inch by 1/2 inch fencer wire. And I don't know if you noticed in the last video, but it actually is very thick and it's not as pliable as the typical hardware cloth that I've gotten in the past. So it was a bit more of a challenge to unbend and fit in corners and stuff. So, alright, so there you go. That's what I'm going to be doing, just framing this out, fitting in posts where needed. Not a whole lot of detail required beyond that, so we'll fast forward on through this. I'm just going to set you guys up, try to get the wood done, get my measurements done, trim the wire where needed, and get these cages up in action. Alright, I got a lot of stuff yet to discuss with you on proceeding forward, but as far as just the framing right now, I'm just going to bang that out as fast as I can, and then we'll move on from there. Alright, so catch you on the other side. Hopefully you enjoy this. And you know, hopefully this is inspiring you to do a similar project yourself, because you know what, we are in uncertain times, and if you're watching this video, either you're a family or friend and you're being courteous by watching videos, or you're genuinely interested in the subject matter and you're kind of seeing what we're all seeing as far as food security and sustainability goes. Right, so you're kind of ahead of the curve as far as the general public in what we're recognizing. You know what I mean? So, you know, if that inspires you to get started yourself, take some element of what I'm doing. It obviously doesn't need to be a copy. I'm kind of going above and beyond here, alright? This is, you know, a little bit excess, but it's done with the resources I have and with my own moral compass guiding me as far as animal comfort and conditions. So let that be what it may. So let's get into the work, get this framed out, and adapt as I go. Alright, let's go. Alright, so that's the first divider done. The framing for it anyways. I just got to fill it up. I'm actually going to put some rigid foam insulation in there like I've been doing with the walls and stuff. And I got some more of that fiberboard as well that I'm going to be putting up for sides to make it easily cleanable. But the only thing is I don't have any pieces that are full height. So I may end up putting another brace somewhere in here just for nailing onto, screwing onto for that fiberboard. So it is what it is there to make a join part way through. I need that support in order to make the join. Alright, so this is the first one done. I'm going to move on. I guess I'll just move on to the next one. Keep on going. It was a good time actually to put you guys into some fast forward with some music, because like I said, my neighbor's over mowing his lawn, his dogs are barking at the chickens, so a lot of background noise here, and wouldn't have really been much fun to listen to anyways. Plus, you've seen everything I'm doing. I'm just going to continue, repeat this process again now. And off camera there, I took my Sawzall, I got to put it outside there now. And if you remember in last video, I had a screw that stripped out and I couldn't remove it. Well, I just sawed the head of that off, and so that's ready now to accept a cross brace. So that's where I am. First one is done. I'm happy with it, I must say. Can't really complain. Like I say, I'm using a lot of wood. I'm using full thickness 2x4s, which is a bit overkill. But I especially, and I'm going to continue it just for, you know, to have a uniform look, but I definitely wanted it with this middle one, because let's say the floor is such a long stretch, 116.5 inches to be exact. I wanted to help prevent sagging, so now I got some strong 2x4s, goes down and attaches to that floor, and it should keep everything elevated and keep it from sagging as well. So this ended up being quite structural in the end. Alright, so I'll move on to this one now. We'll go back into some fast forward of music again. Dogs are still barking over there, and I really don't have anything new to tell you between doing the rest of these posts. So I'll continue that on, and I'll see you when I got that done, and then we'll discuss going further. ladies and gentlemen, that is the framing of the cages complete. So next step will be to get the rigid foam board insulation put in and cover it in and secure the dividers. So that'll be the next step. Now, just looking at it as well, I realize I do have one small bit of framing left to do. It's 3 pieces, and that is pretty much right in the middle of each divider. I'm going to put a 2x3 across, because I'm using the scraps of the fiberboard that I've been using as a base and as walls in here and everything. So I'm using up scraps. I'm not going for big pieces. I'm trying to use up the scraps that I got. So as a result, I'm going to end up needing to butt 2 of them together to do the full height of each cage. And so I've decided to join them around the 20-inch mark. So I'm going to mount my 2x3s at 19 inches. That should give me an inch on either side for attaching along the way, for joining the pieces together. And I'll put factory edge to factory edge for as good a seal as possible as well. In the middle is just going to be, you know, just an actual runner so that I can screw into, provide some stability there. Because if I left it with foam only, pretty much the middle of the wall is just going to be able to move back and forth. But by putting the support across, I'll have something sturdy to nail into, and my joins will be a lot sturdier as a result. So I'll get that done real quick, and then we're going to come back and start the rigid foam. And rigid foam is very much on par with my fiberboard. I am using up scraps. Alright, this material is too expensive to just throw scraps in the garbage at this point. And as well with the dividers, it's not really providing a thermal break so much as it is just filling the gaps to support the fiberboard wall. And you know, if you got one bunny that's running hot and one that's running cold, whatever, if they got their own little microclimate in each little cage, so be it, all the better. But it's not really going to serve that purpose. It's more of a wall support in between the 2x4s and something to mount the fiberboard up against. So I'll get these cross runners done, and we'll get back to a really big game of Tetris or Jenga, whatever you want to call it, because I'm going to be using a lot of scrap, and it's going to be going in pretty funny ways, I'm sure. Alright, let's get this much done. There we are. With that framing done, so begins the game of Tetris. Hopefully it goes fast, but I don't know. I got a feeling that it probably won't. That's it. Off I go. Wish me luck. Alright, so at this point in time, I am down to 7 screws, which is not going to be enough to continue. As well, this last piece that I cut just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to at all. Using that skill saw is just not working out for getting precise or straight cuts. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to revisit this piece, take it off, recut it, do this properly, bring the table saw out here for doing nice cuts, and get back at it. I think I'm just out of patience at this point. I've done a lot of work today, and I'm just in too much of a rush, and I'm starting to do a sloppy job as a result. So I think this is a good point to stop, and we'll resume this next video where we will finish the divider walls and maybe get into making some doors. And at that point the cages are pretty much complete, other than feeders and water and stuff like that. So I think that's where we're going to call it today. I think I might get back at this again tomorrow as long as the weather cooperates. So you can look forward to another video in the near future where we continue this work. And but as for now, I'm going to go down, get the doughs, bring them back up here, let them relax, and I'm going to go relax myself. I may go to Home Depot and get some more screws and maybe some door hardware. We'll see. Alright, but as for now, I am done. My leg's actually starting to ache now that I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to call it here. So, till next video, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, take care of each other, and peace out.